Okay, so welcome to this video. In the last video, we made 6 different characters with random spawn point, and at the current moment, we just spawn random selection of players, which would work if you have a game where you have like different soldiers which with the same power and you want to spawn them. But if you want to have a character selection, a simple character selection menu, then this would not work. So let's go on and make a character selection. Let's make a new UI folder, then right click, new user widget, widget blueprint, user widget, and name this WBP. And let's name this character selection. And let's add a canvas panel and 5 buttons with text on them. Let's add a text first. Now I will just set the font of the text to light. That looks way better. And also I will set the button to size to content and the style of normal to none. Copy, paste, paste. And now I will just wrap this with a horizontal box. Oh, sorry, I wanted it with replace with a vertical box. And I will just control D button 17 1 2 3 4 5 6 times. So now we have 6 different buttons. Let's set the first button to character 1, for the second to character 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we have basic character, so we will just add this to the character screen. Let's go to our player controller class. So we don't have one. Let's create in blueprints. Name this BP player. Oh, sorry, BP player controller, and save. And on event begin play, we will just check branch is local controller. This is just required for the multiplayer. If you are making a single player game, then this is not required. Then create a widget, and this widget should be character selection, and we will just add to viewport. Let's check if it does add it, and you can see we have different buttons. But if I press somewhere else, it just takes my mouse away. So let's go to this widget blueprint, add a new background blur first here, and make the anchor to cover the whole screen, and blur strength to 6. Also, what we need to do is go to the graph on event construct. We will just get the player controller and make set input mode UI only, and the widget in focus is the self. That means this UI which is already on the screen, and we will make it do not lock. And we also want to show the cursor, so show mouse cursor to true. And let me just make a event destruct function. This is called when is no longer referred. So let's just call set input mode. It's game and UI, game only, and hide the cursor. Let's remove event tick. Now let's go back to the designer and check if this works. So yeah, we have a blur, my mouse is not going away, and I can click on these. So something is wrong. Okay, so on destruct it was not able to get the player controller, so we just make an is valid node and check if the player controller is valid. And now the next thing which we need to do is we need to go, and when we select an actor, we need to call the player blueprint and tell which uh, character we have selected. So let's go, and you can see the parent class is BP third person character, so we will just use the parent as the option available. And for character 1, let's just go and make an on clicked event. Before that, let's go to BP player controller, make a custom event and make it select uh, character. Now, because if you're making a multiplayer game, the game mode is valid only on the server and cannot be called from the client, and the widget is only available on the client. That's why we need to call the event from the character selection to the player controller, and then the player controller will refer back to the game mode. So let's create. We also need to give an option for the character. So just open player BP blueprint, make an input, make it character reference, make this BP, what was the name? Yeah, sorry, third person character class reference. And this event should be running on the server. Now, if you are making a single player game, then you don't need to make it run on the server, because everything is just on the single client. And from this character selection, we will just get, let's do one thing, make on event construct. From get player controller, we will cast to BP third BP player controller and promote this to a variable and call this variable, and we will just call this function set select character. And the character would be character 1. For the second character, we will just copy this and make it character 2. For the third one, we will copy this and make the character 3. Fourth one, character 4. Fifth one, and sixth one. So now we have made the characters. And whenever we select the character, we will just need to create a new event on the game mode, and we will name this spawn selected character. This too will have an input, name this input reference, and this would be of third person character class reference. Now we are not going to replicate this because this event is already replicated as it is present in the third person game mode. So we will just now we don't need the event on post login. We will just remove this and put this here. And we also don't have the player controller reference, so we will need the player controller reference. So let's make a controller reference and remove the target and name this controller reference. And owner is also the controller reference. And we will just remove this and pass on the class. Now, as soon as I pass on the class, you will see it says third person character object reference. So we just don't need to cast it. We will directly possess it. And this should work. But before that, we just need to go to our player controller, get game mode, current game mode, then cast to BP third person game mode, and make spawn selected actor. Reference of the actor is this, and controller reference is self. But whenever we spawn, we don't remove this widget. So let's do one thing. As soon as we spawn, we just remove all the widgets. Or what we can do is we will go to the character selection, and on any of these, we just make remove all widgets and pass on any button clicked. Now there are chances, if you know about multiplayer, then there are chances that the call doesn't reach the server. So for that we need to make this reliable, because if we don't make this reliable, the character can get spawned, and sometimes in very rare cases where the device is lagging, then it won't get spawned. So we need to make sure that the call to the server is successful. So let's play, and you see I got spawned here. I will just select third as the character, and I get in the match as the third character. If you need to verify, you can just go to your content browser and blueprint. Oh, sorry, third person blueprint, and the third character is the green one. Now, before just ending, let's make a new, just add a camera actor. It should be present in this. Let's search for camera actor and select a view which you would like as the background for your character selection menu. Drag this up, and whenever the match is started, open level blueprint, make it event begin play, right click, create a reference to the actor, and you can just uh, and get the player controller, and sorry, mm, blend, set view target with blend, and pass in this. Now let's play. Now we also have a nice background. We select, we get into the match. Let's select any other character, and 6 character, and now we get here. So that works. So that is it for this video. Meet you in the next one. Thank you.